Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Simming in Oz, and this is creating Godric's Hollow from the Harry Potter save. This was a bit of a spontaneous build. I thought up doing this build while I was recording the voice recording for Hogsmeade, so I thought of it very much on the fly, but as soon as the thought entered my head, I was so looking forward to doing this build. Up until this point, I had had James and Lily Potter as ghosts just in my neighbourhood lot, and I just did not know what I was going to do with them or where I was going to put them. I assumed they would just be ghosts that just hung out, but I had the lovely idea that they should live in their abandoned, destroyed Godric's Hollow cottage from where they died, which is so morbid, but I do like the idea of every person that I create within this save file has a place to live. I don't love the idea of just homeless random people just walking around the neighborhoods. I'd like them to have a story and a place to reside, so here we are building a little Godric's Hollow. It had to be very micro just for the sake of the lot size, so I tried my best. I really stretched it to its limits in that I made 4 little units with these little cottage houses. These are tiny, but they had to have the added benefit of being livable. So I didn't furnish them, but I did give them a very basic layout, and they're going to be houses that my other Harry Potter side characters are going to live in. I know I have Rosmerta and Ollivander and M.Malkin who are homeless at this point, so some of them or all of them might live in these little units here. It's definitely going to be a little magical village. There won't be any muggles living here. It's all very magical and everything. And they do not get yards. They do not get much of anything, if I'm being completely honest. They get a little entrance area, a kitchen, a bathroom, a lounge, a bedroom, and a bathroom, and that's about it. They live right on top of each other, and they're just going to have to get used to that. Though I feel like it's keeping in theme with the Harry Potter world in that everyone lives on top of each other. They've expanded houses to be micro and very close-knit, so yeah, expansion charms only work so much, I'm afraid, in The Sims. So yeah, I'm happy with the amount of units I was actually able to make. It's going to be a very populated lot, and I knew I wanted to build a little street, and at the end of that street there would be a bigger lot for Potter Cottage, because obviously the Potters are a pureblood family. They can afford a little side property where, you know, maybe they go here on vacation back in the day when they were prospering, but now it is definitely not in good condition. The lot at the end of the street, while bigger and technically more luxurious than its neighbouring units, has fallen into massive disarray since the Potters were murdered there, essentially. So this is just me going through and building the interiors of the units. I wanted to get that out of the way before I focused on the cottage. It's very tiny. I decided to be very English about it and give it 3 stories. They do have a basement. The basement is their living area and their laundry. The ground floor is their kitchen, bathroom, and that's about it, really. Most of it is taken up by stairs, and then upstairs they have a full bathroom and 1 very small bedroom. Like, if you have a double bed, it will need to be pushed to the wall. Like, I don't know if couples can live in these things. It's very much a single person's home. So this is me just going through and furnishing. I don't give it much furniture. I believe I give it lights, doors, and windows. Not even a toilet, not even a fridge. This isn't Sims 2. You don't get slightly built places when you move into them. They're going to have to furnish it themselves. I will go back and furnish these lots to customize to the person that are living in them, because you know, we want to have that bit of personality, but also I don't quite know who's going to be living in them, so I just gave future me a bit of a break and said, all right, I'm going to give you the basics and that is it. But I have moved the Potters, or the ghosts of Harry and Lily James and Lily, my gosh, James and Lily into the cottage at the end of the street, at the end of this video. So they are all moved in, they are living down there. I think actually by the time all's said and done, they do not pay much in rent, and they almost pay the exact same amount of rent for their shattered cottage as they do one of these tiny little units. So floor space is floor space, I suppose. I don't know if anyone is going to actually own these units as a landlord. I imagine maybe the Malfoys, but then again, I'm running into the issue of Malfoys can't own everything. I'm sort of just wondering if I need to make the Malfoy family residential landowners only. So they no longer own Diagon Alley, they just own property that people rent off them. I feel like it lends a bit of authenticity to why everyone just dislikes the Malfoys slightly. Like, you know, if the Malfoys are jacking up your rent and making you pay through the nose and being rich on the side, it's like, oh well, bugger them, right? So yeah, this is just me finishing off the streets and everything, giving them little power boxes. And I wanted to be quite authentic. I didn't want to overfill it, but I may have just skirted the edge of that, if I'm being honest. And here we are building the outside of the Potter cottage. I wanted this to be absolutely overgrown in any possible way. If it can be shabby looking, it will be. So the fence is falling down and the yard is just completely overgrown. I do make a little mistake up here in that I forgot to actually record making the shell of Potter cottage. So I do jump ahead a little bit, but not too much in the space of a few minutes. So I think I cut out maybe 15 minutes. I'm so sorry, but you do not miss much, I promise. It's just me flapping about with the layout of this house and then just painting the exterior and everything. And I do start to do the layout of holes in the cottage, but you will see in a moment. Another fun thing I did with this build is that I put debris up in the sky from above the Potter cottage. It just gives the illusion that the night Voldemort was killed, it had massive ramifications on the environment, in that the absolute roof of this cottage blew itself out when Voldemort died. And ever since, the debris has been hanging out in the sky. So it's a similar effect. It's quite common in this save that debris is just hanging out in the sky. I quite like the effect of it. It just gives it a bit of story and background. And as you can see, I have jumped ahead and we have the basic shell of the property. I've done some decorating, but right now I am just working on the memorial out the front. I do have one gravestone which I feel like the magical community would have set up in honor of James and Lily, and people have just put candles and flowers, and the house has just fallen into complete disarray. I am not too experienced with actually making rundown buildings. I prefer my buildings whole, but it's probably my first time ever building a property that had holes in it and open to the outside world, that had sort of, you know, construction and leaves and everything. So this was a bit of a challenge for me, and you can see I'm starting the roof now, and as you can see, I am just really inexperienced with it. Like, I completely forgot that half walls are a thing halfway through this nursery build. And so as you can see, I am just chucking everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm putting vines down, I'm putting fake windows, I'm putting pillars in. I wanted it to be reminiscent of the structure of a house. And even though, you know, the walls have gone, the basic, you know, bones of the house are still there. And the roof has just been completely blown off. So I struggled with that, but I'm happy with how it turned out in the end. I eventually got there, but it was a lot of back and forth. And here I am starting the interior of the Potter cottage. I decided that I wanted to go very sparse in terms of furnishing. While I know that relatively the Potter cottage was untouched after the incident with Voldemort, I wanted to give it a more derelict look. So there's a bit of a question mark on, yes, people came in after James and Lily died. Did they rob the place? Who can say? Probably. But yes, that is the kind of thing that happened, and it just sort of lent itself to the absolute state that the place went into. There are leaves and vines coming in from the outside. The outside is now inside, and there is just stuff everywhere, and the bulk of their furniture is now gone. If I do a little photo shoot later, I will do some photos of James and Lily and pop them in there, maybe some baby Harry, definitely of the Marauders, because we want to add some authenticity to our builds. But what I'm thinking is, while that's all very well and good now, I haven't even made the Marauders yet, or Sirius, or any of that, so it's going to have to be an edit later down the line. All of my builds are just done, and maybe I'll go back and add to them. I'm thinking I want to do a bit of world building when I get to a certain point. So at this point, Glimmerbrook is basically done in terms of filling all the lots, except for Hogwarts, but Hogwarts will certainly be an ongoing project. At the time of this recording, I have started Hogwarts actually, and God, is that such a nice feeling, but also it's gonna take me so long to finish it. I believe I'm about 12 hours into it, and I've really only done the castle exterior, some of the exterior decorating, no landscaping, and I've done the layout of all the basement levels and all the rooms and everything, but also I've done no furnishing. I've only furnished the Great Hall at this point. And the Great Hall itself took me 3 hours just to furnish that. It's looking beautiful, by the way, but also it took me a really long time. I started out with the idea that I would do Hogwarts in 1, maybe 2 videos. it's going to have to be a series at this point, because the amount of work that is going to go into Hogwarts is going to be immense, because I'm a perfectionist and I don't leave anything out of my builds if I can help it. So Hogwarts will definitely be my magnum opus, but it's going to require some patience. So I am going to be doing it in a series of videos. I will start with the building in the exterior, and then I'm going to go on to furnishing different sections of the castle per video. So you might get a section that's the dungeons, Snape's office, the potions labs, and Filch's office. In another video, I will do the Slytherin dorms. In another video, I might do the portrait stairway, tower, Gryffindor dorms, and common room. Just sort of clustered little things that sort of make sense to be grouped together, but it's just so I can knock out a few interiors every single video. But yes, it will definitely take some time, and even then it's not all going to be at once. I think it'll be a good idea to take a break from doing Hogwarts videos, because too much of one thing is going to drive me insane. And I also need to keep doing character creations in between videos. I like to space my videos out in that you get a build video and then you'll definitely get a character creation video, because there's so many builds and so many characters. We want some variety. So while I'm building Hogwarts, it will be interspersed with character creations of the Hogwarts students, the Death Eaters, Voldemort himself is exciting and coming up, but also general builds like Ministry of Magic and oh gosh, what else? Malfoy Manor is another one I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to be doing the town of Little Haggleton, because that's essentially where Voldemort / Tom Riddle is going to live. I was wondering where he was going to live, and I thought, oh yeah, no, he'll just live in his old home. So yes, obviously he's going to live there. So Hogwarts is going to be an ongoing project, but for now it's all going to be interspersed with each other, so you get very much a lot of variety. If you want to come along, please like and subscribe, as you know, but I'm not fast either way. I'm just having so much fun doing these builds, and I'm honestly surprised how fast I'm cranking them out. I'm sort of just going with the flow at the moment. I don't feel like I'm burning out at all. I'm just having an absolute blast, and playing The Sims 4 is the only time my brain really turns off, and I have a very stressful long-term full-time job, so I do need that break from working. So definitely this ongoing project is my relaxation time, and the effort to put in and edit videos and everything is just another thing I actually really enjoy. I've never edited videos before, so this is very new. This channel, at the time of this recording, is 19 days old, and I don't know if I'm going to look back at this video in a few months or a year from now and go, wow, she had like 53 subscribers at the time of this video. Look how far she's come. Or maybe some point I burn out and I take a nice little break or something, but right now I am just loving it. So here I am finishing off the interior, and it's looking like a hole in the wall. Poor James and Lily, their poor ancestral home. Now I'm just basically finished with the interior, doing some details on the exterior. I wanted it very overgrown, so I'm going back and just chucking more greenery at it and making it that much more overgrown. I actually go back very shortly and I create a little graveyard for some graves plus James and Lily's actual graves. So yep, I wanted that little bit of authenticity, because I know that in the movies Harry does stop by the Godric's Hollow graveyard and there are his parents' graves. With the introduction of the upcoming Life and Death pack, they're going to give us new gravestones, so I might go back and do some changes, because at this point the graveyard is very basic. And I would like to make it a little bit more official. With the very limited amount of space that I have, yes, I'm gonna try. But yeah, I love the little mushrooms I put around the toilet. That's just so fun. I feel sorry for James and Lily in that they actually have to live in this place. But you know, story-wise and everything, we do what we can. And that is really it for this video. We're coming to the end of it now, but so happy with how it turned out, as I'm happy with all my builds. I would never really classed myself as a really good builder, but as it turns out, if I challenge myself and set myself a fun goal, I actually surprise myself of, oh yeah, no, that turned out quite nice. Yay. And everyone's been really sweet online. Like, I've only just started posting my builds online, but everyone's been so sweet and supportive, and I really enjoy the feedback and the comments and everything, so that's very sweet. Thank you all so much. But this is the last of it now. For my next video, I'm going to be putting out the exterior for Hogwarts, which is going to be a massive video, but obviously we will not be completing Hogwarts because that is an ongoing thing. Think of it as part 1 of Hogwarts, and then part 2 will be finishing the Great Hall, and then that's honestly where I'm up to so far, so who knows what's going to come next. In terms of not building Hogwarts, as in other character creations and everything, not sure who I'm going to do next. Like, I'm really looking forward to doing the Marauders and the Teachers of Hogwarts. I'm definitely going to be going back and doing all the Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers in one video. That's going to be fun because, my god, that group of teachers is very varied and I'm so looking forward to them. But that's essentially it. This is me doing my little graveyard and it's so cute. And I did put a few candles out for James and Lily because they deserve it, honestly. But that is the end of it. But I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video and the slideshow. But thank you so much for coming along. If you do like it, or if you're interested in Harry Potter, please welcome, feel free to come along the journey with us. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.